Said the devil wants your voice. It's the doubts, the insecurities, and the self-sabotage that you may experience that interferes with the comfort. I remember vividly in private, I said, God, this is on my heart, and I don't know if I have enough courage to even take this step. So God, through this, show me you, and things just kind of started falling in place.
Welcome to Comfortable Conversations. I'm your host, Jas Kirk, where we dive into the greatest gift life can offer us, discomfort. These honest yet comfortable conversations we will have are essential as your life is your canvas. In each episode, I will share practical wisdom and personal stories that guide you through life's big questions, encouraging growth, self-discovery, and deeper connections in your everyday life. Welcome to today's episode. It's a special one coming to you with none other than Antoine Howard, the founder of I Am Lifted. And I'm going to start here, y'all. Antoine is a dear friend of mine. I met him through another friend of mine taking his workout class and fell in love because he was very intentional about, we weren't just lifting weights, but like the functionality of it. And I had moved here to Dallas and started to meet trainers or go to classes where I was like, these trainers are letting these people flail and they're going to hurt themselves. And it was the first time I had taken a class where I was like, the trainer is really being intentional on form. Fast forward to, we became Lululemon ambassadors together, but also the thing that stands out most about Antoine, and even through this conversation you guys will get today, is this man is such a gifted speaker. We like to call him the preacher because when I say he always has a word and knows how to pour into you, it is so phenomenal. And so, Antoine, thank you for joining Comfortable Conversations today.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful. I'm honored to talk to you. So I'm ready. What you
I'm
got?
so excited. It's always fun when I have a friend that, we have 30, 45 hour long phone conversations.
Yeah,
and
yes.
This is all this will really be. So you guys are welcome that we've invited you into our private lives. But just to get us started, I know a lot of your story, but I would love for you to share with the audience what discomfort led you to this version of Antoine Howard sitting here today with me on this couch on this beautiful day.
I like that question. So for me, when I think about discomforts, I think about me being willing to dive deep. Like, what are my traumas? What makes me happy? What makes me smile? And I think once you go down that road of self-discovery, it does open up a lot of doors. So for me, when I think about discomfort, one of the things I speak to my daughter about is the DIS. It's the doubts, the insecurities, and the self-sabotage that you may experience that interferes with the comfort. So how do you attack each one of those individually? And I think for me, being in the fitness profession and not fitting the mold per se, there was a lot of doubt.
Yeah.
That if I could do this, or would I take my shirt out during the class? It was all of these things that I was pressured to do, to be a part of. The insecurities came from, I think, just from my traumas, my upbringing. It's like wanting to know more about who I am, but not having a man or an example to follow in my upbringing was a part of my insecurities. The self-sabotage was more or less just me saying, all right, God, if you presented me with this, can I do it? Am I smart enough? Am I capable enough? Do I have enough skills to do this the way that I know that you put in my heart for me to achieve? So there's a lot of things. I know I answered the question, but there's a lot of things that when you say discomfort, there's a lot of self-discovery I've been over this last 5-6 years of my life that has led to me saying that discomfort brought some comfort and some peace in my life today.
What I love how you shared what discomfort means and being able to sit in that. And you, of course, brought up your faith, which you can speak, you can quote the Bible all day long. But take us back 5-6 years ago. Is that when I Am Lifted started?
The pandemic is when I started my company. Yeah.
Okay.
But prior to the pandemic, I was a cycle instructor at Cycle Bar Uptown Dallas.
Okay.
And there's a song within the playlist. It's called a Connect song. It allows you to say whatever you want to say over a song that evokes emotion. And I really took that to heart. I would spend hours in the day saying, all right, God, what do I want my Connect song to be? So, it started to getting these reviews. Like, hey, y'all should take Antoine's classes. I don't know what he's doing, but I now believe in something bigger than myself. He's inspired me to be such a better individual. I want to bring my husband to meet him. So it turned into me having sellout classes for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
So I took that into when I was working at a gym called HitFit. After my classes, I would do a scripture breakdown, or I would break down just a section in the Bible or whatever book I was reading for that week. And it turned into 30 people in the class, and 30 people would show up after class to be a part of that.
Really?
So it turned into this big opportunity for people to, if they didn't want to go to church, have a place where they could call a place to where they could meet something bigger than themselves. And it was amazing because that's my upbringing. Grandma was a pastor. Mom was a minister. Brother is a minister. My aunt has a church in Terrell, Texas. And even in Terrell, there's a church called Howard Temple. So I know that a part of my upbringing was to introduce people to hope and belief and faith. And that faith talk is always a tricky one. So I started it. So whenever I had a sermon or segment, I said sermon. I had a segment called What If?
You did have a sermon.
A sermon.
It was a sermon. If it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was good. Yeah, it was called What If? And the first subtitle was everything that was your identity was taken away. That was March the 14th. The pandemic happened, a few days later.
And what if your entire identity was taken? Yeah.
So that started this chain of people saying, hey, like this, we can't stop here. We can't, how do we figure this out? So I started doing boot camps outside in the community. But then I started a IG Live, the I Am Lifted series. Yeah. And it was amazing to just use that platform. My mentor who passed last month, I came from college and I said, David, I'm struggling. Because when I was in high school, we go to church Monday to Sunday. It was church. Yeah. So I get to college and I was like, oh crap, I don't got church.
Yeah.
I'm about to have some fun.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun in college, but I was still convicted by me knowing what my purpose was supposed to be.
What was that purpose?
It's to ministry. Ministry is my calling, and I know it. I know it. So, and I knew that my position always created a place for people. I knew that wherever I went, relationships, oneness, community was something that was a priority to me.
Yeah.
So I go to David, and I said, David, man, I want to do this speaking thing. I want to do this pastoring thing, but man, like this is tough. And David said to me, he said, Antoine, wherever you can create a space for people to be and learn more about God, that's your pulpit. And don't take that for granted. Yeah. So that's what fitness was to me. It was my pulpit, my opportunity to bring people together and create places for people to not be perfect, but to be present. So.
Yeah. It was the connected when you go back to when you shared about the song during Cycle Bar and it's the connected song.
Yeah.
It's funny how you don't need an hour. All you really need is two minutes and 50 seconds to 5 minutes to really just pour into people. And you never know what people are growing through, that message resonates so deeply with them. So we're in COVID. You feel called to do something bigger. Mm-hmm. Was it hard to pull that bigger out of you to now be ministering in your unique way?
I think the only pressure I felt, and that it just kept running through my brain, is who would support this? Who would believe in this? Who am I to be?
Yeah.
So that was that self-sabotage piece.
Yeah.
Was tearing me up. But I remember vividly in private, I said, God, this is on my heart, and I don't know if I have enough courage to even take this step. So God, through this, show me you. And things just kind of just start falling in place. And I just think it's that part whenever it comes to believing outside of yourself that how faith is trust. Faith is all right. Hey, faith is all right. Like that's faith. It's not a conditional factor.
Yeah.
And so once we try to make faith a conditional matter, then I think it interferes with our understanding of who God is for us.
Yeah. Okay, so now you have your boot camps. Mm-hmm. You're able to speak to masses. And granted, these boot camps, y'all, were hundreds of people. I mean, he's putting on full on. You got food trucks after, gifts and just all different types of vendors and things. you have every race, ethnicity, age range out there all participating in community together. And so take us to the growth of that, elevating that, because once you're in momentum of in your calling, that does continue to grow.
I think for me, one thing that I pray to always be is authentic.
Okay.
And I feel whenever I came into Dallas, even when I first started fitness in 2017, I felt that authenticity is true. Because if you look at our profession, right, it's look the best, say the best, post the best.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of vulnerability in our profession. So I was okay with crying in front of a class. I was okay with asking somebody if they were struggling with anything, and I would connect them with different individuals. So for me, that authenticity kind of, it put me in a place to cultivate so many organic relationships. So whenever I did say that I was going to do anything, I know people are going to show up.
Yeah.
Because I make sure I meet everybody. I want to know something about everybody in the class. I want to make sure that you're connected. I want to invite you to church. That was just the baseline of every event that I did. So I think the authenticity helped with cultivating so many relationships that helped me say that, all right, I want to do this, and they supported it. One of the first awards I won in Dallas was the best instructor on ClassPass.
Yeah.
ClassPass called me directly and said, man, who are you?
Really?
Like, you have over 250 surveys that are 10s. Who are you? So I'm sitting with ClassPass and we're talking and it's just like an organic conversation with these people. They're like, we just want to know who you are. We've never seen this. So, well, during the pandemic, ClassPass reaches out and says, hey, I want you to do a live section. So I had my own section on ClassPass where it would be a boot camp and a talk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it would be, and it was a blessing because on ClassPass, I have 13,000 people streaming because it's all over the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So then I would do a 30-minute boot camp and I'd do a 15 to 20-minute talk after it. So it was great.
So, but you're still, so what becomes next? So as you're talking, I'm wondering, is it fitness is the connection to the people, but is your purpose really speaking?
You know, I'm gonna say yes, but I'm also one of those people who I'm probably more critical of myself than most people because I think the expectation, I know the requirement for my position, and I hold that dear to me. I watched my grandmother do so much for people who she didn't expect anything back. She prayed with them, she talked to them, and she would actively go outside of her own comfort to make sure that they were safe. So, I watched my grandmother lead in a way that I just want to be just part of who she is. And that was primarily one of the reasons why I was like, I just want to serve people.
Yeah.
Being an award-winning instructor, that doesn't matter to me because I want to know who that person is that's just in the back of the class hiding. I want to know that individual. So it's been a humbling journey, but I can always say I always wanted to be present in my classes, and I think that helped me. I think that helped propel me to the position I'm in. Is because I cared about every individual, I don't care about the post. I don't care about who's going to be there. I want to know who the people are, and that was my biggest priority.
Yeah. What do you like in order to pour into people? I know when you were talking about you would get ready to share a message. What really is important for you, like when you're diving deep into what message you want to share with people for that day or whatever?
I pray over every class, and then for me, I used to ask God to just speak to me so it can happen through me. And it would be, whether it was going through, there's Glenn Thomas is my best friend. There's Antonio Oliver. There was David Jones. There's all these people that I could talk to who were my accountability brothers. And sometimes in our conversations of me being vulnerable, I was like, man, that word stuck out to me. So I'm going to go search for a song, or I'm going to go search for a scripture. And I'm going to create a message from prayer in private, but then also having people around me that would hold me to the standard that they know I can be.
Yeah. But does that take practice? Like how you, come from a background of faith and going to church and all of that, but how does someone incorporate this practice? Like if you're introducing them to faith in a new way, how do they go back and continue to pick up this practice over and over again?
See, I see faith as believing, right? So, for me, when I'm talking to instructors who have they have an inspiration to be, I want to be a coach, I want to be successful. I ask them like, does does this speak to you? Does if you go to bed at night, does training hold you to a level of accountability that says, I want to be great at this?
Yeah.
Or is it people? Is it your upbringing? Is it the money but associated with it? I always want people to understand why they're wanting to pursue this. So whenever I come across an instructor that says, man, I want to incorporate faith and fitness, and I was like, okay, well, what's the expected outcome?
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of backlash in Dallas when I started talking about God. There's some partnerships that I couldn't get because they were, hey, we're not really talking about religion here. And I'm like, okay. So I learned. I was like, you know what? I know how to do this. So I got to a point, I was talking to David about this, is believing is setting your alarm at 9 p.m. for 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. Believe is putting the address in your GPS with expectation you're going to get there. Believing is you gave them your money at window 1 with the expectation to get your food at 2. I said, we all believe. So that's kind of how I started going about it. It's just an essence of believing. It's really, faith is an aspect. Faith is believing. So you have to do it. So that opened a lot of more doors for me to meet people, meet instructors, and meet people who aspire to be in my position, to know that there's a way in how you create your own identity, because one of the biggest assets to an instructor is your confidence. Yeah. So once you understand who you want to be, you understand the expected outcome, and you're willing to dive into developing that aspect of you, whatever comes is supposed to come.
So when you talk about like some brands or companies didn't necessarily want to work with someone who was vocalizing their religion, you repositioned your message. Mm-hmm. That's tough. That's really smart, because I never would have thought to do that. That didn't discourage, make you want to not work with them. What makes you have that shift of, I just need to present this in a different way, versus just saying, okay, this brand, this company, this person is out of alignment with what's meant for me?
I'll say this first. I say this to instructors often. I've never applied for anything I got. I can't tell you how to go talk to Lululemon. I can't tell you how to go. I don't know how to tell you that. What I can tell you is to absolutely be yourself. So for me, the people that were positioned in front of me went first. Hey, we know this guy. They went first. So whenever they met me and I sat and I talked to them, I say, so this is what I believe. This is what I stand on. If I'm going to do a class, the music, it has to be edited. I'm not good. I'm not okay with guys taking their shirt off. It's like, these are my standards. Are they okay? And they was like, okay. Well, so about that God thing, I was like, okay. And I asked, so do you believe? Yeah. What do you believe in? I think it's relative to what you're saying, but people, and I'm like, well, some people just need hope. Yeah. And hope happens through you believing them and taking a step. So everyone that comes here today is believing that they're going to have an experience because you're a part of it. Yeah. This is not just me. So they're like, okay. So the people before me spoke. And I think that happens with me saying, God, if this is for me and you create this opportunity for me, I just need to be the best version of me. In our profession, I think a lot of people want the accolades and the awards, but they don't want to do the work in private. Yeah. So whenever I got in fitness, I left AT&T making over $150K. I was married at the time, had 2 kids. It was the perfect life. I was good. And I promise you, I've been going to the gym. I've been looking for ways to uncover who I am. And I would be going to the gym and I'll meet people. I say, man, you should be a trainer because you care about us. I'm like, all right, okay, that's that care. Yeah. So I started meeting more people in the gym. I started praying hard about, all right, God, I think fitness is the way I want to go. And I transitioned into Camp Gladiator, and for 3 months, I didn't sell nothing. Really? My first year in fitness, I made $11,000.
Oh my God.
So I'm telling instructors, hey, this is not a given. This profession isn't a given. Now, what I did is I was still set up, because your requirement for your boot camps at Camp Gladiator is a minimum of 50 people. So I would still set up my classes, and I would sit there on the table, and I said, all right, God, you're asking me for 50 people. I'm asking you for 50 people. There's 50 different people. There's 50 different age groups. There's 50 different abilities. I'm going to sit right here and do as much studying as I can, because one day I'm going to have 50 people, and I'm not going to worry if I can do it. Yeah. And I studied my butt off. So whenever I got boot camps with 50, 100, 200 people. I'm like, oh, I prayed for this.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on y'all. So just study yourself, all right? Show yourself approved. So for me, I always wanted to do the work in private. Like the accolades to me wasn't for me to feel good. It was like, all right, God, you hear me. You hear me.
Yeah.
So when opportunities came, it was just really just me saying, all right, if this is for me, how can I be the best version of myself in this? Yeah. And that's kind of what I would tell somebody. It's about you. Ultimately, it's about you. Your job is to know who you are, why you are, and where you are, what led you to this space, what gives you peace, what gives you happiness about this position, because people are giving their life to us, and we have to appreciate it.
I've been saying lately, faith is flow in motion. And I say that right now because when you shared, like, you never sought out the opportunities, they always flowed to you. Which that is not my story. Your girl gonna reach, ask, walk.
Well, I gotta learn. I gotta learn that from you, actually.
Walk through the front door. But yes, things do flow to me. Let me not say that. I just also, certain rooms or opportunities, if I wanted it and I wanted it in a different way, even me becoming a Lululemon ambassador, most people, when I moved to Dallas, everyone was like, you have to be a part of fitness ambassadors. And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I did it for a year.
But I was like, I don't think that's how you do it. I literally remember somebody telling me that, and I was like, nah, that don't. Just because someone else did that doesn't mean that's your way.
That's good. And
so I'm a big believer in, like, everybody's standing in line, but who told y'all to stand in line to wait to be next? So I'm the person who's like, I don't have to stand in line, and I don't want to.
I admire that about you.
I'm somebody special.
I admire that. That's not something that I can say that I've catered to or cared to cultivate. So I admire that about you. I'm gonna be taking notes from you about that.
Listen, I mean, but I'm learning to be in flow, because I always said I've willed it my way. But I do like moving here, being within the spaces, and like when you think of fitness, even like me becoming an ambassador, I didn't do it in the traditional sense. Most people assume you're supposed to align. There's a studio you're aligned with, and I had Honeydew, and everybody's looking like, how the hell you got Honeydew? What is Honeydew? And she's an ambassador? Like, what does she have going on? And I'm like, well, I come from Chicago, and in Chicago, they got coffee shop owners, philanthropists. Like, I saw it in a different way. So I was like, okay, I can have it this way, and I get to tell people who I am. Yeah. And so that's why I've always been someone who goes after what I want, because I want you to know, like, I wish to have that, and I just need to be able, just give me room to tell my story, and you'll see the alignment. But I do encourage people, there is an ebb and flow to it, but it 100% is the work. Yeah. You cannot outwork me.
I love it.
You like, no, like, and in private, you're doing the work. Yeah. And so when you become verified, it's because you did the work, not because you said you did the work, but you actually did the work, and it's seen. And I think being someone or individuals who are of service to people, like when we became Lululemon ambassadors, I remember the first thing that when they shared like why they picked you, and anybody who would ever ask me like, how do I become an ambassador? And I would always say, just be you.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
Because when I became an ambassador, my contract didn't say I had to host events. My contract didn't say I had to do any of this, but we would like for you to post this many times a month. But they said, we see how you see other people. You always make people feel seen and heard. Yeah. And that day, I was like, I am not obligated to do anything else with this contract besides show up and be Jas and lead and impact people in a new way. And so it was like a blank canvas. And I share that because it's always going to be a blank canvas. And even in you sharing like brands or companies saying, oh, we don't like that you do this. I'm not shifting for you. I need you to shift your perspective.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
I mean, let me show you how to shift your perspective.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I encourage people to really hear that and know, like, just shift their perspective. Let them see you in a new way. You don't got to change to be like, I also remember like becoming an ambassador, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm put on this pedestal, this platform. And then I started critiquing myself a bit harder. I was like, you're not thin enough. Wow. You're a Black woman in Dallas as a run ambassador.
Wow.
You're not thin enough. You're not this enough. You're not that. And then but I would always still show up. But people didn't realize I had my own insecurities of like, I don't want to always be, or like I would go places and people are like, this is a Lululemon ambassador. And it's like, yes, but that's not all of me. And I really struggled with my identity because I would go spaces and they would just be like, this is Miss Lululemon. Yeah. And I was like, there's going to come a day where I knew that would end. And I started, even before our contract ended, I started grieving that because I was like, but who am I outside of this? Yeah. Like, I have my own business. I have other aspects, but people only see this $1 million, $1 billion brand. And I really struggled with like, am I getting attention? And what is my intention behind all of this? And I literally started to transition how I was presenting myself in the fitness space. So any insecurities I stood in because I was like, I'm tired of the narrative of what things look like, what people think they are. And we really need to start like demolishing all of that to stand in, because there's too many people having more conversations like this one than there are like, we're all perfect and we're all amazing, you know?
Yeah. And that's the nature of this profession. I connected to Lulu. I was connected to Lulu like 2021. Yeah. I'd already been doing events with Lulu, and I told the store manager at the time, I don't have to be an ambassador. I just want to help y'all. So I would do like employee engagements. I would do different things for the store. So for me, the thing that I loved most about Lulu was my picture. Let me explain. So in my picture, I was, I had my dreads going. Well, my daughter used to go, my daughter's 18 now, but when she was 12, she used to go to Christian boot camp, or not, summer camps rather, Christian summer camps. Well, she learned that, or she heard that Jesus had hair of wool. So she comes back to me and Mom, and she's going over all these. Hey, this is what I heard. I want this. And we was like, well, keep your A's to the end of the year, straight A's to the end of the year, and then do some research and kind of present to us what you learned. Yeah. Well, she learned that they were locks. Mm-hmm. So we let her do it. She goes to school, maybe 3-4 weeks later, and they calling her dirty and mop head, and they were saying all these bad things. So my daughter went to this extreme phase of grief. Yeah. And I was just watching her, and I'm like, something ain't right. Yeah. Something's wrong. So she started doing things that scared me as a father. So I stepped in. I said, Zion, you're never going to feel this again by yourself. So I'm going to do it with you. So I got my dreads as me and my daughter's personal bond. Yeah. So when I saw that picture, it was me and my daughter. So every time my daughter would see it, she would kind of like shed this little tear, because that's our personal bond. So Lululemon is Lululemon. I do feel that this is me. I think it sounds like it's you. I'm the asset.
Yeah.
I'm the asset. I'm the asset.
100%.
So, and there's a lot of people who will transition and make changes to accommodate the opportunity. And I just wasn't. I wasn't. So yes, it was great to be with. I've worked with the Mavericks, the Cowboys, the Rangers, the city of Dallas. So I've worked with a lot of big brands, but one thing is consistent is me. Like, this is my message, and this is my opportunity. And if we're not speaking the same language, then this opportunity isn't for me. Yeah. So I loved all the opportunities to represent those brands, but I do know at the end of the day, I still prayed and asked God to create more opportunities for me. And if I could have done that one better, how I could have done that one better.
Yeah. So when it comes to I Am Lifted, you did have a physical location after a while. Packed. Okay. All the time, attending classes. So how has that been navigating, having a location, not having it anymore.
Yeah.
What's next for Antoine and I Am Lifted?
Ooh, so a lot of loaded question. I would say what I learned is not asking for help is dangerous. What I asked that there's strength and vulnerability.
Okay.
What I also learned is business isn't personal.
Okay.
That's what I learned. And I enjoyed the opportunity. A lot of great things happened with the opportunity. The thing I will say is I've learned a lot about business, contracts. I learned how to navigate conversations. I've learned how to own a business. I've learned how to ask the hard questions now through that experience. And my grandmother, being my grandmother, she said, Antoine, like, what's wrong with you? I was like my studio. Like that was a big part of my being. And she says, well, I'm pretty sure you were speaking the same message when you didn't have four walls. So why you messaging?
Yeah.
She said, the devil wants your voice.
I told you that when we talked.
Yeah.
Like the devil.
And when you said that, I was like, I was crying on the phone. I was like, crap. All right, I gotta speak up.
So let me take a step back.
Okay.
So that people are aware. You had boot camps prior to. You used to be at Psycho Bar in different studios. During the pandemic, Antoine built a large following for his boot camps in the I Am Lifted brand, and then had a location, and then that ended. And granted, if it's what we want or don't want, it ended.
Yeah, it ended.
And that's what he's sharing of trials and challenges and obstacles and being on this other side. But as I said earlier, your purpose was always speaking. You just got to do it.
Got to do the, yes, ma'am, through the fitness.
Through the fitness. Yes, and so through this, you're learning business acumen, all of these necessary things that we don't realize until you're in it. You do not know.
Right. It
is not failure. It is not this way.
Yeah.
That is what I've learned so greatly on my journey. God just said it's not that way.
Yeah, I call it, so I used to tell, because I mentor instructors like all over the nation, and I consult from some studios in Dallas, so that's kind of where my trajectory is going now. But I used to tell instructors, you don't fail, you find a way.
Yeah.
You find a lesson, you find a way to learn, you find what's supposed to happen in that particular situation. And I knew a lot of things that I could have done differently. I knew it. I knew it. So, sometimes we shortcut how we feel for an opportunity. And that was the one thing with the studio. I was like, I don't have control of this. I didn't make this decision soundly.
Yeah.
So everything that happened made perfect sense. Yeah. And I think for me, it only helped. It forced me to dive deeper into who I was.
So it pushed you into discomfort.
Oh, absolutely.
And sitting in it.
Absolutely. So, imagine having a successful business, having everything on your perfect life list. Imagine I'm pretty good right now.
Love it here.
But then at the same time, you're sacrificing so much peace and happiness, time with the kids. You're sacrificing all these things that are true, real things. And understanding that success sometimes is situational, right? Sometimes where you did everything you could, and that's not what was supposed to happen.
But I ask you this because a friend, a few years ago, I said something about successful businesses, and she said to me, but Jas, who said they're not successful because they're financially it's not here?
Yeah.
And I started to redefine what success was. When you brought up, you have all of these things that you can check off, but you didn't have peace. And now when I look at success, I'm like, success is freedom for my day. Like how I start my day, it's my peace, like having peace, room to actually breathe where when I take an inhale and an exhale, there's not stress. Right. When I wake up where I'm just I can't even think and I'm forever in survival mode. That has become success to me. And the way I go through life now is so different when I felt like I was chasing money.
Yeah. And that's real, because, I also learned that success was me wanting to not be like my parents.
Okay.
It was me not wanting to be broke, me not wanting to feel like I'm not able to provide. Yeah. So my motor, my intention behind the why wasn't even pure.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot through this situation. So, I can't tell you how many people I met at the homeless shelter. Go from having a perfect place to laying in a bed next to somebody you don't know. And that was 4 months of my life, from being all this guy to, all right, God, I don't know what you're doing to me right now. So I lost everything that I had worked for. So for me, it humbled me, but it also grounded me in a different way. So from the activity, how involved I am in my church now, to still having friends who I married, who met in my studio. Yeah. So I still have happiness in so many different places, but for a while I did lose sight of who I was, because it was all connected to my performance. Yeah. And that's, if you think, if you're born in the 80s, you're a doer. Yeah. You figure it out, go, figure it out. So now I can stop to say, all right, God, like this is how I feel. This is what I think. This person is somebody that can be a benefit to my life. I'm finna pray about this. I have accountability partners now in my church. So things have changed to be more aligned in my life. So I don't take the homeless shelter for granted. I don't take sleeping at the studios. I don't take sleeping in my truck for weeks at a time. I don't take any of that for granted. I don't take it for granted. So it just allows me to speak and reach people in a different manner. So I'm grateful for it. It hurt at the time. I think it hurt. It hurt bad at the time. I can tell you many nights I'm begging God to not wake me up. Just really? This is like, this sucks. God, this can't be it. Help. This cannot be it. Yeah. So yeah, it was tough. It was dark, man. It was scary. But somehow he kept like throwing that hope. Somebody would come through. Hey, Antoine, how are you? They'd check on me, and I'm like, all right. And the thing that I was more embarrassed about is how I strayed away from the people that mattered to me, truthfully. Like I didn't have a relationship with my kids for almost 2 months. I just didn't want to feel, and it's embarrassing to say now, I just didn't want to feel like when I took my life that it mattered. It was so dark and scary all the time. It taught me how to forgive. Yeah. My grandmother, who is probably my hero, my grandmother in her hometown would take care of anybody she could. That was Doris Howard. And she went through this assault situation with one of the people that she was trying to take care of. I remember at the hospital, my grandmother told me, she said, Antoine, we're all imperfect people and we're all owe grace. Who am I not to forgive him? Yeah. And that story just, when it happened when a studio situation happened, I was like, all right, like this is bigger. This is bigger than me.
But you were angry, like
every listen, every like, emotion, every emotion. Past. Yeah, imagine the person you let stay in your house steal your food, betray you in such a way. Yeah, so you get somebody to call you, hey man, you down the street, and like, no, I'm at home. The person, they got your car and they left. They just the control, the decisiveness, I didn't get it, because I wasn't raised like that. So when it was happening to me, I was like, wait, me? Why me? And I'm pretty sure God said the same thing.
But let's go back to your grandmother said, me and you had a conversation where I said, the devil will try to take your voice. Like the thing that, and let me break this down. We can't fathom the gift God has given us. And when the devil, the enemy, whatever comes to distract you, it takes the thing that you don't realize is the power. Yeah. Like, you'll think it's all these other things, and it's that thing that it wants to hush you, tone you down. And I share that because I went through that space of, prior to launching the podcast, I was in a relationship that I found myself betraying little moments of me that it toned my voice down more. and more and more and more, to a point that the confidence that you knew for Jas to have when I was in front of everyone, I could have it, but alone, intimately, just with myself, I didn't have it. And that's the space that matters. It's not with everyone else. And so that relationship ended. And I remember a dear friend of mine said, "Hey, Jas, I really want you to connect with this nonprofit. Mm-hmm. It's speaking to women and girls who have been sex trafficked and, you know, dealt with like manipulation and all of these things. And I think that you are an inspiring, confident woman." And I said, right now, I'm still healing and I can't talk to them.
Okay.
And she was like shocked, but I was like, I had to start being honest with myself because I knew a piece of me was gone. And I also knew that piece of me needed comforting, needed safety, security, nourishment.
Okay.
And so when I did spend time really saying, when I speak again, baby, you gonna hear her roar.
Yes, give it to him.
And you will not hush her ever again. And I remember a friend came into town and we had went out. And after they were there all weekend, me and him had lunch that Monday. And I said, I don't have my confidence back. Because you would think externally, she's good, she's back.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, she's still gotta warm up. We gotta go back in and we gotta make sure because I was like, I want to go deeper. If I thought I went 3 levels deep, we're going deeper.
Okay.
And when I finally sat in that, I had recognized this whole time, when I always thought like I naturally see people and connect with people, that's my gift. Yeah. It wasn't until I got deeper that I said, no, your gift is you speak. And let's really hone that. Let's really talk about that. And if you're ever going to have the courage to step with that, give it to God.
Yeah.
And when I did, the opportunity to do a podcast, because I also told myself I'm no longer willing it. If it's for me, God gone.
Make it happen.
Actually, I was like, God, you need to come down and tell me, sit with me directly and say,
Jesus.
This is for you because I can't anymore. And so that happened.
Yeah.
Me and Ella met up randomly. Ella reached out and she said,
such an amazing person.
Right?
Yeah.
She said, hey, this is super last minute, but I have this opportunity for you to speak. All they need you to do for World Health Day. Like, all they need you to do is speak to the crowd.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God. And then we meet up prior. And then she's like, and I would love for you to be on my podcast. And I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Well, come to the studio. You got to meet the studio. You got to meet the people. And she connected me with the owner, and we built out a brand partnership after that. God provided. And so I was terrified to start this because for years people had said you should do a podcast. And I was like, okay. But I knew in my heart of hearts, like this was where I was supposed to be because it was so divinely led. And so long story, I took y'all the long route. But
we like it. We're listening.
I know, but I share that to you because if y'all think I can speak and I got a gift of gab, he's not kidding when he says how he has sermons for people. And so I know the devil will try to break you in such a way, but the way you rebuild, if you ever feel like you've fallen from a space, you're always going to come back faster because you can skip past. It's like in the video games when you're like, I already did levels 1 through 10, so let's go to the hard stuff.
You gotta get that cheat code.
So you have that cheat code, but it's just the foundation right now. And so always praying for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Love you so dearly.
Appreciate you.
Hate the people that tried to get one over, but
they tried.
Listen, one thing God in the universe gonna do is get that lick back for you.
See, I was wanting to get a lick though, but I had to change my prayer.
You be wanting to get that lick back, but I am a living testimony.
Amen.
When God get that lick back, he be like, listen, let me get it. You don't get up and get it. Because old me used to be like, you tried the wrong
I know where you at. I know where you at. I know where you.
So remember that, y'all. Take note. Don't try to get your lick back. Just, I always pray. I pray people get what they deserve. And your karma, universe, God, or whatever, what you put back has to come back to you. Yeah. Has to. If you put out good, it's gonna come good. Yeah. You put out bad, hate to break it to you. Hey, you're in a deficit, and they gonna have to take that.
hey, you did it.
So what's next? More speaking, I only assume.
Yeah, yes. I when you messaged me like 2 months ago about this, I was like, oh Lord, I'm not ready to get out because I haven't been in the public since everything happened with the studio. But I do know that there's like the moment I posted about my new job, how many people responded and DM me and said, hey man, where have you been? We ready. We want to hear your voice. Please find a way to get back to what you were doing. So for me, speaking is good. Speaking is one thing that I'm interested in doing. The other thing is, I'm active in the church. I'm like you. I'm like my voice. Why my voice? But I do know that podcasting is in the future. I don't know what that looks like or where to start. But when I did say yes and I called you, I was like, Jas, you know what? So I avoided you because of this. Yeah. I loved your persistence and your care about it. So I do know there's a lot of people who do have a voice that I meet every day, and it could be something I tell instructors all the time. Your yes matters. Yeah. Your yes is something that you don't take for granted. So I'm back out in the community with my company. As far as I'm lifted, I am transitioning into the consulting space. So I do want to help businesses be successful. I do want to help trainers be successful. I want to help trainers find their identity. So that's kind of where my heart is going with my company. You have
almost 15 years of experience as far as like training and studying and being able to educate and actually consult beyond just like, this is how you open a gym. Exactly. Like, can you share that more in depth? Because that was something we talked about that I'm like, the people need to know this because there is a huge rave of individuals because of social media who can get on and say, today I decided to be a trainer, so I am a trainer. If I post videos that say I do this, I get to now say I'm an expert in doing this.
That's right. Yeah. So something I've been doing for the last, I've been in Dallas since 2018. Probably 2020, 21 is I would go to trainers pages. I didn't know these trainers. I say, hey, I see what you're wanting your message to be. Maybe the delivery was a little off. Can I give you feedback? So I've cultivated thousands of relationships with instructors and businesses because I just wanted to give feedback. My leadership experience came from AT&T. I was store manager in retail, but then I kind of went into employee engagement, employee development. So for me, overseeing all those individuals in sales, I also learned that sales is simply a relationship, and it's kind of your job to know how to. In sales, they say it's 80-20. 80% of the time they're talking, 20% of the time you're talking. So that means that your questions, your engagement, the interest that you create, it's just they're supposed to talk to you. And it's your job to figure out how. So I just took those experiences over into fitness, and it's the same thing. Fitness is sales, right? Some people look at your Instagram and that's the sale. Like you look the part. Like some people love how you speak. So it's me. My training curriculum is called The Power of I. I've taught it at least 6 studios in Dallas. It's me helping you uncover like what is your style of training? What is your demographic? Yeah. What is your coaching voice? What is your style? What is your modality that you're strong and that you can do? Because there are some trainers that do everything, but is it jack of all trades, master of none? Yeah. So my job is to help trainers say like this is your path, and I want to help you be good in that path. My specialty is group fitness. That's my baby. Yeah. Group fitness is my baby. It's so I like to speak to trainers who have an interest. So for me, it's called idea to concept. I want to listen to what your mission is, and I want to help you ultimately experience that. So that's with I've spoken with gym owners, 24-hour fitness, Crunch. I've spoken to a lot of CEOs and people who are in big places. And I just want to help the instructor ultimately help your business generate revenue, but from an organic perspective, the consumer. Everything we do is about the consumer. And so my intention is to help studios and instructors understand how to appease the consumer. So are you qualified to appease the consumer? Yes or no? Or if you're not, how do we get you there? So I just want to help people be successful and touch more people. That is how do we get more people to come see you?
Yeah. How can I be of service to that individual, and that will impact and influence the masses?
That's it. I'm at F45. I've been a part of maybe 10 F45s as far as training instructors experience. So I go and I'm looking at the parking lot. I'm looking at the sign on the doors. I'm looking at the cleanliness in the restrooms. I'm looking at the music volume. I want to know, what is an experience? How do you create an extraordinary experience? And I think that came from AT&T as far with our behaviors.
But that's important to the fitness industry as a whole, because a lot of studios close. Mm-hmm. They open just as fast as they close. They close just as fast as they open. And also a trend that I'm seeing is like, or I've heard of just like student retention of clients. Like a lot of people are dealing with that. And I ended up sharing with a friend, like, people buy into you.
That's it.
That like, if they like the instructor, they're going wherever. If you say go left, they'll go left. If you say go right, they'll go right. Yeah. You say come here, they'll come here. Yeah. But you have to connect with people because the loyalty to the studio, there is none. Like, especially in Dallas, like they're like, see you later, bye, next trend on. Yeah. So, and that's all over. So it's like, once you can help someone connect with who they are, you'll gain your following there. It'll flow. But before we leave, I'm gonna ask. I know you got a message, a sermon.
I got it.
I would love for you to, whatever is on your heart, to leave people with today, even if it's just for me. Like,
if it's for you, okay, all right. I'll say peace has to be a priority. The economy, the state of our world is bad. And sometimes we become conditioned by our conditions. So I encourage everyone to just sit and ask yourself, who am I? Why is this something that evokes an emotion out of me? Who do I desire to be? And take the time to build yourself enough to know that you want to live a life that's going to give back to you. Be a person that wants to give good to this world, but be the best version of you in everything that you do. And a part of my company is you're not supposed to do life alone. Please do not do life alone. Yeah. Put yourself around people or in spaces that build and encourage the best version of who you are, and be okay with challenging the least best version of yourself, and be willing to love yourself through it all. Yeah. So you can absolutely do it. And if you can't call me a Jas, we got you, boo-boo.
One thing I'm going to do is talk to somebody for a long period of time. Like if you call me, it's an hour-long conversation because I got time today. But
that's good. That's what people need. People just need, sometimes some people need a safe place. I just want to create a safe place for anybody I meet.
Yeah. I didn't realize I learned how to create a safe space from the need of that when I needed a safe space. Yeah. And I looked up, I didn't have it. And so the version of me now really is someone who gifts grace like no other and forgiveness, and cultivates just this radiant being inward, so that when people sit with me or come to this space or any space, like I'm so present. Yeah. Like I listen and I care and I want people to feel that. But that came from honestly losing my brother. It was a life I couldn't save. So now I always am thinking, like, I ask myself, how can I be that in your darkest time?
Yeah.
Just someone know they can call me and I'm there.
Yes, there's strength in that struggle. And something else I used to tell instructors that fear and faith are fear, false evidence appearing real. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. The only difference is you. Like you. They both are so relative and so real. And you have to kind of see. You have to see. Take time to see the better version of anything you experience. So you're here. You standing strong, and we appreciate you. We love you. Yes, ma'am.
Love you all. Love you. Thank you for joining me, Jas Kirk, on Comfortable Conversations. Remember, the greatest gift life can offer you is discomfort. It's what shapes us, teaches us, and helps us grow. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a conversation. Until next time, keep embracing life's challenges as opportunities to create your masterpiece. Your canvas is waiting. Go paint it beautifully.